great brewers, BP on the move, and State Bank, we never forget it's your money.
It's action from round 20 as Collingwood and Fitzroy battle it out in what was billed as an early elimination final. Could the Magpies come back, or would Fitzroy make it 6 wins on the trot? At Jollymont, the MCG was back in action for the first time in 3 weeks as the Demons tried to arrest their slump as they played host to Sydney. The Swans, however, were on a high, winning their last 3 games. All the day's highlights on Saturday Night Replay. And after a very windy Saturday, good evening everyone and welcome to Saturday Night Replay. From round 20 today, the big clash at VFL Park between Collingwood and Fitzroy, while from the cricket ground, Melbourne versus the Sydney Swans. The MCG was in use for the first time in some 3 weeks this afternoon as Melbourne clashed with the Sydney Swans. The Demons, losing their last 3, made 2 changes to their selected lineup. Hughes and Bennett out for Yates and Bailey. Sydney, by contrast, had won its last 3 and subsequently, at least on a mathematical table, had a very rough chance for the final 5. In the commentary box at the cricket ground this afternoon, Drew Morfitts, Peter McKenna and Bernie Quinlan. And tonight we pick up the action at the start of the last quarter, Melbourne leading by 2 points.
Big quarter of football coming up here at the MCG. 2 points the difference. The Demons lead the Sydney Swans. Been a good, hard, tough game right from the start. First whistle. This is young Matthew Wheeler receiving from Mitchell then. Oh, nice long kick too, right up in front of goal. Mackesy and Sean White are the flyers. It's tapped back to Viney. Viney's gone wide. He's looking out there for Bailey. Bailey takes the mark in front of Higgins. This is Brett Bailey. A late inclusion in the side. Danny Hughes didn't play and neither did Bennett, the full forward. Up to half forward, tapped on by Steins was good play. Spalding moves it on with a quick hand pass to Campbell. Campbell looking for Yates, he's caught. Spalding, a quick hand pass, went straight to Barling and the Swans will get out of trouble through Rod Carter.
Greg Williams leads the race. Road has never been far away. Williams being booed every time he gets near it after that report. It comes to Bays. Bays back looking for Williams. Rhodes got him again. Possibly before the ball came out. There's no whistle on it and it'll be a ball up.
Gee, they pounce Bernie on Greg Williams quickly, don't they?
Well, they know he's such a dangerous player. They're so keen to cut him out of the game.
His stats today, 4 kicks, 11 handballs. He's kicked the ball just 4 times. Goes Melbourne's way. Healy. Well, could have put that down the tackle. Higgins, the hand pass back to Neagle. Fight on behind play. Neagle across to Carroll. Carroll's kick inside half forward. Mackesy underneath the ball. Chance for Thripp though. The fight still going on centre wing. Terry Thripp round onto the left boot, but his kick is astray. In front of goals though, Wheeler. He's knocked over by Lovett. Lovett does well to paddle the ball to Yates. Yates going defensively.
Graham Yates has found his captain, Greg Healy. He's at half-back flank. Now he tried to chip it. He saw out of the corner of his eye Todd Viney. He tried to chip it but didn't get the right roll on the drop punt. Bernie?
No, he tried to kick that one around the corner and just didn't drop it on the boot correctly.
Well, it's on centre wing. It's been a very entertaining game, this one. Not a lot of goals scored, but it's been tough and hard. Mitchell. Oh, good play by Mitchell. Over to Higgins. Now it's with Greg Williams getting the hoots of the Melbourne supporters. He sets it up for his forward. Steve Wright in front of the pack. Good play by Sean White as he goes wide, but Terry Thripp, he gets a bad bounce. Phoebe off the ground. Stephen Wright after him and, well, a bit of desperation stakes at the beginning of this last quarter. I think we're in for a great final quarter here at the MCG.
It's a worry for the Sydney Swans when Steve Wright has to do the contesting at the high marking up on that forward line.
Well, if the Swans win it, they can be just 1 game out of the 5 with 2 rounds to play. Melbourne, even if they lose, will still be 4th, but no certainties to make the finals. Bolton across to Mitchell. High to full forward. Mackesy outmarked by White, who jumped from behind. A change on the Melbourne bench with Bailey going off, replaced by Tingay. Long kick by White. It comes to the back of the pack, but Kellett first back there. A chase on with Glenn Lovett. Or Kellett's kicked it out on the full. It'll be a free kick to Lovett.
I think it was a bump ball.
Oh. Okay, a throw in.
Well, it's on centre wing with 2 points the difference. Melbourne leading. Barling has rucked nearly all day. Parsons is on the bench. There's Glenn Lovett crashing his way through. A quick hand pass towards half forward. Strong play by Dennis Carroll. Now, that is not holding the ball. Good umpiring decision because the ball was caught down between his legs. So it will be a bounce at half forward. 9-9 plays 8-13. Steins against Barling. Steins tapping it down. There's Mitchell or Carroll. And a throw, another throw paid against the Swans. So free kick will go to Jimmy Steins.
Free kicks now 20-19 in favour of Melbourne. 21-19. Here's a chance for Wilson just outside 50. Kick smothered by Neagle, best on ground. Neagle threads through an excellent hand pass to Carroll. Carroll further afield to Mitchell. Mitchell straight up the ground. Past Williams. On the bounce to Tui. Tui on the turn. High kick. Mackenzie right in front. Well, White beat him last time, but Mackenzie squared the ledger that time.
Yes, I think Sean White there thinking maybe again that he could go for the high fly from behind. And the ball dropping short around the corner there from Tui. Mackenzie slipping away to take a very easy chest mark.
7 marks. 10th kick coming up, and he's going for goal number 3, which he gets.
Well, he's been a very handy performer for them on the forward line. 2 goals in that third quarter, now 1 in the last quarter. Had Danny CO taken from him, and CO still on the bench. Sean White now playing on him. Has taken a couple of high marks over the top of Mackenzie, but on this occasion caught behind when the ball dropped suddenly, and Mackenzie in the best position playing in front.
Well, Darren Mackenzie, a great improver in VFL football. He has had Danny CO moved off him. Sean White taken from the forward line down to him. CO off the ground, in fact. O'Dwyer trying to tap it down. Road will lose it to Callett. Oh, the Swans looking dangerous. Callett down towards Tui. Has probably been nearly the best forward on the ground. Tui got good play, Bernard Tui. He kept chasing right out to the half forward line. He's a great contester.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Peter. He gives him a bit of a target on that forward line.
Throw in. O'Dwyer to Healy. Off the ground by Lovett, but Healy will take a free kick for a push in the back. So the Swans have hit the front after Mackenzie's goal. They lead by 4 points, so we've had many changes of the lead here today in a game where there's hardly been any more than a kick between them. Low scoring, tight contest. Healy's kick to centre wing. Steins and O'Dwyer both there, neither could mark, and the ball goes out in the interchange gate.
Right on centre wing, Swans by 4 points at the moment. A vital game for them in particular. Well, vital for Melbourne also, but more so the Swans, I would think, if they've got any chance. There's Glenn Lovett smothered off his boot. This is Higgins, brought the ground from behind, and that's in the back. And umpire had no doubt about that one. This is Higgins from centre wing, has gone wide. Matthew Wheeler shoved out of it by Campbell. It was fair, hip and shoulder. Good play by Campbell. This is Graham Yates, short to Steins, and Stotts gets a clip across the ear for his trouble and gets up with a big grin on his face. The little man Higgins taking on the big man there in Steins. Steins to half forward. Neagle in front. Oh, nearly a good mark. Couldn't quite take it. Mitchell. Spalding. Oh, trapped that beautifully. Spalding. Over to Wilson. Now it's Greg Williams and Filan. Strong work by Wilson. Here's a hand pass coming out the road from 50 metres. Oh, no, umpire. You are not going to pay that, but it's gone through anyway for a goal, I think. He's going to pay a hip and shoulder and down the ground. But it might be a goal anyway. Yes, it is.
It was just a glance,
but it caught my eye, cruising all alone, twin cam donk, and all the stuff you want. Gotta get a Holden Nova. It's the car you'll love.
Cade, the new car, it's beautiful. And make sure you keep it that way by using Wynn's Spitfire Plus in its fuel tank. Used regularly, Wynn's Spitfire Plus cleans your car's fuel system while you drive. Stops carburetors and fuel injectors from clogging. So next time you fill up, add a bottle of Wynn's Spitfire Plus. It's this easy. You'll have more power, better fuel economy and easier starting. Remember, when it's Wynn's,
It works.
From service stations and auto stores.
Sorry. You know how it is. It's a bit wet over there. Bit wet over here, too. Let me get some drinks. No, let me. Waiter, drinks all round.
Well, if we're going to make a party of it, let's nibble Nobby's nuts.
Sorry.
If you want an aftershave that's a winner, go for Gold. Yardley Gold. The aftershave for men who like to win. Yardley Gold.
In a tight game, that could nearly be a match winner. Peter Rhodes' goal. Steins wins the tap. Wright will take a free kick. Grabbed when he didn't have the ball. Melbourne by 2 points. Kicked by Stevie Wright. Connolly goes the punch. Wilson in front. Mitchell spills to Tingay. Back he goes to Grinter. Grinter's kick to half forward. Healy drops the mark. Spalding does well. Puts the hand pass out wide. Too wide for Viney, but he's got plenty of time. Left footer by Viney. O'Dwyer down there. Couldn't take the mark. Campbell a chance. And well done by Roberts to rush her behind and kick an own goal. The margin 3 points.
Yes, good play by Ian Roberts. Anyone's game. This is a very, very evenly contested match right from the word go. First half, Swans with a better side. Melbourne with a better side in the third quarter. And this quarter's been very even. Mervyn Eagle, one of the best players on the ground, kicks it out towards the half-back line. Here's Peter Rode. Quick hand pass to Tingay. Over it goes to Steins. Steins towards full forward. The Flyers. And a brilliant mark taken by Tony Campbell.
Yes, that's a great grab there by Campbell in the middle of the pack. In the end, he took a chest mark. A player who's been in and out of the Melbourne side. Had a perfect set there. Wheeler coming from behind, trying to spoil.
Tony Campbell from directly in front. Kicks and has goal.
That's Campbell's second goal, both being kicked in this second half. One in the third quarter, now one in this final quarter. And that's a type of team-lifting goal that Melbourne needed at this stage of the game in a very tight match. Campbell had the set. And there he is taking a very good chest mark. One of the marks of the day there by Tony Campbell. And finishing it off with a very good goal from 30 metres out.
Margin out to 9 points. Oh, Greg Williams, a great gather in the middle. Bays back to Williams. Williams, a hand pass wide to Bolton. What a top goal.
That was brilliant by Williams, was it?
Magnificent. That's the type of play that Melbourne are really worried about. That's why Peter Rhodes has tagged him everywhere he's gone. But Greg Williams, inspirational play there. Dashing through the centre. Hand pass to Bays, back again to Williams. A long hand pass there from Williams, setting it up for Bolton. And that's just the reply the Sydney Swans wanted.
That was magnificent to watch. From the centre bounce to see that play down the ground. Again, the margin is 3 points. Melbourne have not got this game won yet. Centre of the ground. Here's big Barling. That was terrific play. Here comes Williams again. He's gone wide with this one. Over the back of the pack. Wheeler Kicked away for Melbourne, though, by Grinter. It's all Swans, though. David Murphy's been fairly quiet. He's got it this time, though, on the left foot. Up to Mackesy. It's hooked down to the ground. Here's Steins again, out of the full-back area, but it's gone straight to Stephen Wright. Well, this is a great contest at the moment. Steve Wright sets it up for his forwards with a long drop punt. It's 1 on about 4. That might bounce through. No, it won't, because Steins just gets there in time to tap it through. And now the margin is only 2 points in favour of Melbourne. What a game.
Gee, they're both playing as though their lives depend on it. Grinter's kick in. Finds Connolly. Half-back flank. Over the top to a running player in Brett Lovett. Lovett to Yates, centre wing. Yates leaves off. Comes off to Yates, off Glenn Lovett, but intercepted by Murphy. To Roberts. Quick interchange. Higgins. In he goes to Carroll. Swans have lifted in the last couple of minutes after that brilliant goal set up by Williams. White, the hand pass to Phoebe. Phoebe back to Grinter. Oh, great play by Grinter. Confidence. Road.
Yes, that was confidence, because I thought he was going to be claimed then. This is Peter Road to centre wing. Now, is that some shepherding going on there against Rod Carter on Stephen O'Dwyer, and the umpire had a good view of that. Umpire David Howlett.
Well, it's cribbed about 3 metres on the mark.
That's experience for you. There's Steve O'Dwyer bringing it towards half forward. There's his partner in crime, Steins, and they've taken many marks since half time, those two. This is Steins setting it up for Campbell again. Campbell in front, fisted away from him. There's Greg Williams cleverly across to right. Out it comes towards Murphy, who ran straight at the ball. That is great play by David Murphy. Fantastic football as he hooks it back. Graham Yates is caught, and the umpire said in the back.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Oh, was it ever. Great tackle by Bolton.
Yeah, I thought it was a top tackle.
Well, this game being played like a final. It's virtually an elimination final for the Swans. They're looking for their 4th win in a row, though. Campbell couldn't get through the pack. The umpire's seen a high tackle.
Oh.
Free kick to Campbell. That is a tough one. And Greg Williams has chipped the umpire. And umpire David Howlett saying, cool it down, son. I'll see you tomorrow morning at the tribunal.
Well, let's have a look at this again.
The initial tackle was round the waist. Slipped the arm up at the end.
Campbell from 50. A boomer. A great goal.
Where do millions of jets, helicopters, planes, trains and trucks go when they're low on fuel? The same place you do. BP. BP, on the move.
A sensitive stomach finds some foods hard to digest. But you can replenish the body's natural digestive cultures with Revital, the milk for people who find some foods hard to stomach.
Moving the troops effectively takes skill and experience. Doing it economically takes Nissan know-how. During his winter campaign, your Nissan dealer is under orders to move out the Nissan Pathfinder, Nissan's four-wheel drive freedom machine, from $23,990, and clear stocks of the roomy 8-seater Nissan Nomad. That's Nissan know-how. That's a magnificent offer.
Used regularly, Win Spitfire Plus cleans your car's fuel system while you drive. So next time you fill up, add a bottle of Win's Spitfire Plus. You'll have more power, better fuel economy and easier starting. When it's Win's,
it works.
What more perfect way to open your Sunday than by opening the new Sunday Herald? You can leaf through environmental issues, tune into new business technologies, even catch up on social gossip. And in the 72-page full-colour magazine, browse through fine collectibles. Then armchair travel, before getting into the latest fashions. What's more, there's Sunday morning home delivery. The Sunday Herald.
Perfect Sunday!
A sudden fall leads to an emergency. Without immediate action, she will die. So a doctor decides to operate. But is it the right decision?
What will her life be like when she comes out of the coma?
Monday, on A Country Practice, the dilemma of making a hasty decision.
If I had yesterday over again, I would never have done it.
Would it have been better to let her die?
He said you'd be all right.
Rather than the possibility of life as a vegetable?
And what gave you the right?
A Country Practice, 7:30 Monday on 7.
8 points the difference now. It'll be hard for the Swans. There is still 12.5 minutes of play left. Bad luck that they got a goal that way, actually, because it was a good, tight, hard contest. There's Viney towards half forward. Flintoff. Healy. Greg Healy into the open goal. It's another one to the Demons.
And that's going to make it very tough for Sydney now. A 14-point break to Melbourne. And again, they won the ball out of the centre. Good ruck work there by Steve O'Dwyer. Greg Healy kicking his third goal, getting it down to the forward line very quickly. Contested again there by the big man, Jimmy Steins.
Gee, Greg Williams is having plenty to say to David Howlett. He is just hasn't let up on him about that.
And look out, he's got the book out again.
He's going to be reported for chatting him now.
There you are. You could see it coming.
Well, I think he did dive for the book, but I don't think he wrote.
Maybe a warning.
Maybe. Biggest lead for the game, 14 points. Melbourne in front. Hooked out of there by Healy, who kicked the goal. Yates under pressure. Spalding grabbed when he didn't have it. And now the free kicks are starting to go Melbourne's way. They trailed by a long way early on, but now lead 26-21 in free kicks. Campbell with a big climb. It comes here to Viney, and Viney into an open goal.
Oh, let's shut the gate now. Todd Viney kicking his second, and Melbourne racing away to a big advantage. Nothing in it at the start of this final quarter, but the last 3 goals have been kicked by Melbourne. I thought maybe a free kick could have been paid against Campbell there. Not taking the mark, definitely pushing Mark Callard out of position. Let's have a look at that again. Oh, well, see for yourself, it definitely looked as if he pushed him out. If you don't take those marks, it surely should be a free kick.
I think it's a free kick if you do take them, Bernie. If you push the man out of the contest, but 20 points the difference. Here comes Melbourne again through Tingay. A long driving kick. Campbell couldn't quite take it. Here's a hand pass over to Steins. What can he do? Steins against Carter. He's lying on top of the ball. Now he gets it out to Wilson. Smothered off his boot. Here's Barry Mitchell, tackled by Campbell, and the ball is forced through for a behind. There is still time for the Swans if they're good enough. They trail by 21 points, 11 minutes, just over 11 minutes of play left.
Well, it's been a rush of goals in this final term. 5 goals by Melbourne and 2 by the Sydney Swans. Top little hand pass out to Yates from Viney. Short pass, Phoebe. Stephen Phoebe will be kicking from about the 50-metre. Not a bad kick. Right to the goal square. A mark. Not paid to Spalding. Back it comes to Flintoff. Kick across the face of goal for a behind.
Melbourne really playing well in this last 5 minutes. Not last 5 minutes of the game. This past 5 minutes they've been playing very, very good football.
That's 5 behinds to Flintoff.
Neagle, best man in the ground for 3 quarters. There's Tingay over to Glenn Lovett, trying to keep the ball in play. But I think a lot of the sting might have gone out of the Sydney Swans now, Bernie.
Yes, that last 5 minutes has done the damage, hasn't it?
Well, you just can't afford to be continually kicking it up forward and not capitalising. It can cost you games. You haven't got good class forwards.
Steins over the back of Barling. Glenn Lovett to Viney. Centering kick. Almost a mark to Campbell. Play on. Kellett. Still time for the Swans, but they need 4 goals. Good chase by Campbell. Put Kellett off his kick. Oh, it comes the Swans' way. Tui picks up. Blast with a long one. It is a long kick. Bounces near the goal square. Mackenzie. Right, a goal.
Well, the Sydney Swans still firing, trying hard. Mackesy doing a good job up on that forward line. Sean White taking his eyes off the ball there on that occasion. Didn't know where it was, just ran back towards the goal square. As we can see here, Sean White not looking, not knowing where it was. Mackesy taking the ball, probably unfortunate not to get a free kick because Sean White held on for a long time. But it didn't matter because Steve Wright chipped in there and finished it off for the Sydney Swans.
Melbourne lead the Sydney Swans by 16 points. Parsons is back on the ground, but here's a long kick coming from Tingay towards the full forward line. Can the Swans get out of trouble? They can. Carroll over to Fireland. They need the next goal. Swans badly. He's gone wide. Greg Williams. Long hand pass, doesn't quite reach the target. Thripp was grabbed, and the umpire said that. Thripp plays on. Over to Williams, and now, oh, you can't play on handball from the free kick, of course, and the umpire onto that.
Well,
and Terry Thripp hangs his head.
That's a rule that's under consideration, of course, Peter, too.
I wish they'd get rid of it.
I agree.
It's at half forward, well, halfway between centre wing and half forward. Here come the Swans. Thripp, over it goes to Fireland. Now it's wide to Barry Mitchell. Mitchell over his head to Williams. Williams heads for the boundary line because he was under pressure. And over the line it went.
8.5 minutes remaining. The Swans need 3 goals to win. 16 points the margin in favour of Melbourne. Hooked over his head by Flintoff. Williams sandwiched. Flintoff went without it. Phoebe. Little toe poke to it. And a further one. Tingay a hand pass to Flintoff. Well, that's a beauty. Out to Connolly, who's got a bit of space. Chris Connolly running away from Barling, but Barling gets him. High to half forward. And a mark here to Melbourne, but a push out by Healy. Free kick to the Swans. Roberts.
Ian Roberts goes wide. Dangerous. Oh, Winter's caught. Taps it on. Here's a chance for Melbourne. Graham Yates from directly in front. Kicks and misses, but that was dangerous play by Ian Roberts to kick out there to Callett. 17 points. They still need, that point won't make much difference. They still need 3 goals, and they've got 7.5 minutes of play left in which to do it, the Swans. Merv Neagle would be a pretty tired player. He's had a great day. He's been in fine form. Towards half-back, this is Tui. To Carter, and Rocket Rod Carter coming from the half-back line. Nice-looking kick. Bayes in front. Tapped the ground. Here's Greg Williams, still getting the hoots of the crowd. Wanted the handball, and now he gives a low trajectory pass meant for Mackesy, but a good mark has been taken by Sean White.
White in the back pocket. Goes for O'Dwyer at centre half-back. Slides off the hand pass to Connolly. It's blocked well. Comes the way of Wright. Dodging, weaving. His little left footer is good to Mackesy. Oh, did he mark it? Umpire paid it. I think he might have just spilt that one. And right on the 50-metre line, he'll have to kick from about 54 metres to clear the man on the mark. That'll test him. Don't think he'd make the distance. Parsons underneath it. At the back, Mitchell.
Well, there's the value of Parsons. At least he led on that occasion. And it left a bit of an opening there in the forward line with Mitchell slipping in. And at least it takes the defenders away from that goal square. Mackesy's kicked just a little bit too high for Parsons, but it takes a taller player out of the action.
And a goal here would put the Swans within 2 goals. He's got it.
That's it. Had enough. I understand you've worked all your life and you can't afford a holiday.
Where do you want to go?
Anywhere but here.
Okay, let's do it.
What with?
Read this.
You've got this much? We've got this much? How did we do this?
It's called savings, Dan. Remember savings comes before spending.
Bit of interest.
Every day of the year.
I can't take this. You saved it. It's your money.
No, it's our money, Dan.
For a minimum deposit of $50, a State Bank investment account allows you to watch your money grow while you earn high interest calculated daily, and your money's at call.
Seems a shame to spend it.
I'm sure you'll think of something.
State Bank investment account. We never forget. It's your money.
Yep.
CRC 556. Keep a can on hand.
What more perfect way to open your Sunday than by opening the new Sunday Herald? You can whip through some sport. Do a little business before Monday. Even expose yourself to culture. Then in the 72-page full-colour magazine, thumb through the gardening. Take a sharp turn for motoring before devouring all the food and wine. What's more, there's Sunday morning home delivery. The Sunday Herald.
The perfect Sunday!
In Home and Away,
my wife, Louise, and I want Sally to be a part of our life.
they can't have kids of their own.
You're not thinking of taking her permanently?
Yes.
So they want to steal somebody else's.
He hasn't ever wanted to see me before. Why does he want to see me now? I'm scared of him, Carly.
Monday at 6:30 on 7.
Here's the Tats 2 results, just drawn under government supervision.
$11 points, the margin, so 2 straight kicks. Barling against O'Dwyer. Barling gets it to ground. Which way will it go? It's Rod Carter. Oh, sidestep beautifully. Caught with the ball. Over to Stephen Wright. Right to half forward. The Melbourne defence try and get it away. That's Phoebe. A quick kick out of defence. Rod Carter again drops the ball. In they go after it. Filan lies on top of it. And the umpire will come in and bounce it. Filan should be trying to hit it out at this stage. They've got to get it loose.
Grinter and Wright having a bit of byplay there. Ball up centre wing. 11 points the difference. 5.5 minutes left. Barling wins a beauty. Down to Mitchell. Mitchell's kick is marked by Connolly under a lot of pressure. Connolly goes back. Steins. Steins towards the outer side. The running Greg Healy. Kick by Healy. For Spalding. Knocked to the front. Wright is caught. The umpire says it's held in there and he's going to ball it up. Well, the Swans have kicked the last 2 goals. They need 2 more to win and there's time left.
Melbourne desperately trying to hang on. There's the time clock, 4 minutes and 48 seconds. Down the ground, here they come. Greg Williams is lifted as he kicks long and wide. He was looking for Tui. There's 2 Melbourne players, though. Oh, the bounce will elude Sean White. Lovett gets it across to Steins. A clever little kick to Phoebe off the side of the boot. Steve Phoebe goes short to Lovett. And they're just holding up the play. Oh, he's off. And the Swans players just stood there and looked. Up towards half-forward. Could have been a push-out on the Melbourne player then. Here's Dennis Carroll. This will be a real contest if the Swans get the next goal. Over the back of the pack is Bolton. Let's see who can get the ball. The loose one will come to the Swans. This is Tui. Over the top to Thripp. Terry Thripp onto the left foot. Fires and misses. Oh. 3 minutes and 55 seconds of play left. The difference is 10 points.
Well, Melbourne are good at defending a lead. They've won 7 matches this year by 14 points or less. Kick by White. Long kick. Bayes up with a chance to mark but couldn't. Wilson. Out to Yates. So it bounces off Carter and goes out of bounds. 3.5 minutes remaining. 10 points the difference. It's been close all day. But when Melbourne jumped out to a 4-goal lead, it looked all over. But the Swans aren't done with yet. Good hand pass Carter to Wright. Wright to half forward. What a mark that was by Thripp.
Top mark. No one leading. He's got to kick it high again. 2-on-2 contest. The ball hits the deck. Hand pass. It was a high tackle, I think. It was a high tackle on Jimmy Steins, and the umpires picked it up. But that's the perfect time where you must have a forward. If that was Hawthorn, you'd have Dunstall leading straight out.
Yeah, caught behind again.
And they stood back instead of running at Thrip and giving him a moving target. Until they do that, they'll never kick many goals, Swans. This is Steins towards the half-back line. O'Dwyer. Oh, silly hand pass to Greg Healy, but it might come off. Back it comes to O'Dwyer. Long hand pass. Oh, it's a loose one with Greg Williams to Steve Wright. Wright is caught and loses it. Hand pass over the top comes to Filan. Filan goes wide, straight in the hands of Spalding. Smothered off his boot, and over the line it goes half forward for the Swans.
Greg Williams has come right into it. 24 possessions now, and he'd had just 9 to half-time. Comes down to Filan. Williams another one to Wright. He's kicked to half forward, bounces in no man's land, but a good gather by Connolly on the bounce. A magnificent hand pass to Wilson. Wilson straight to centre half forward. Flintoff got there on the half volley. Well, the umpires have paid the mark. Hope not. Free kick.
We paid the mark.
Yep, the mark's been paid.
Gee whiz. Wouldn't like to be given out at cricket with that one. Flintoff to full forward. At the back, Campbell.
He's done it well up there at full forward, Campbell, in this final quarter. Shooting for his 3rd goal. And he's given Mark Callett 3rd goal for the quarter, that is. 4th goal for the match.
Campbell can bury the Swans with this. Oh, it's poster. So the Swans are still in it with a minute and a half left. 2 goals can win it.
He's got to wait till the umpire waves the flag now. That's good thinking. Straight down the centre of the ground. They've got to get a quick goal. Oh, they're a chance because Tui's taken a big mark over the top. Now he's got a running player there. They need something magical here from Murphy. Let's see what he can do. As he's been tackled, hand pass to Rod Carter. What's he doing up there? Good play by the big fullback. Over he goes to Thrip. Thrip on the left foot sets it up. They need a mark here, the Swans. Parsons can't take it, and take it away is Conley. Conley goes wide to Greg Healy. Time running out as for the Swans, it is as Melbourne desperately defend. This is Greg Healy coming around the boundary line, sets it up for O'Dwyer, and those big men starting to be a telling factor in this game.
55 seconds left. O'Dwyer kicks into the man on the mark. Mitchell. The ball held in, and the ball up will use up time, and I think that's done the Swans for the season. What an effort they've put up today. And I think Greg Williams might still have something to say to the umpires as he leaves the ground, because he had plenty to say a while ago on a controversial free kick. Half a minute left. Out will do Melbourne. Well, the Swans led by a point at quarter time, 4 points at half time. Melbourne led by 2 points at 3/4 time, and they look like winning it by 11. Wright, desperate. Was he holding it? No, the umpire's going to ball it up, and this will be the last bit of play for the match. Melbourne lead 98-87.
He kicks to that outer side, just slews off the side of his boot a little.